Hello, Giants fans, and welcome to Valentine's Views here on YouTube. I usually don't do stuff like this, but I have to rant just a little bit today. Have to admit that I'm insanely tired of Kadarius Toney and his social media rants and shots at the Giants and Giants fans, putting out music that says that the Giants effed up or f the Giants, and his constant arguments and badgering and cheap shots at Giants fans. If you've been following Twi- Tony's Tony's social media the last couple days, you know that he's spending entirely too much of his summer, you know, ripping Giants fans, promoting music that takes shots at the Giants. I honestly don't care. Good for Kadarius Toney that he got to Kansas City, a place where he seems to be happy. Good for Kadarius Toney that he made a play in the Super Bowl and that he's got a Super Bowl ring with the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Giants absolutely 100% did the right thing from by moving on from Kadarius Toney. Every time the young man opens his mouth, every time he goes to Twitter for one of these silly, immature, misguided arguments. Every time he does stuff like that, he proves the New York Giants right for moving on from him. The Giants, they drafted him when Dave Gettleman traded down in the 2021 draft and after missing out on Devontae Smith. And listen, I don't know if that trade down was Dave Gettleman's idea. I suspect that it was really something that then coach Joe Judge wanted to do, and that Gettleman acquiesced and went along with moving down simply to appease Judge and to show that it was something he would do. I think it was Gettleman's ninth draft as a general manager and the only time he had ever traded down up to that point. So I think it was just Gettleman's way of saying, yeah, I'll do this. It's not that I won't do it. So it was just Gettleman proving a point that he would do it. And I supported the move down at the time. I think that the Giants, though, selected the wrong player. They missed out on Micah Parsons. They missed out on Rashawn Slater. Elijah Vera Tucker is another good player they missed out on. There were several good players they missed out on by trading down, but they simply chose the wrong player at number 20 in Kadarius Toney. And that was pretty much obvious from the first day that Toney stepped on the field at rookie minicamp and with a wrong sized shoe, apparently, or something wrong with his cleat, and wound up practicing or spending part of that practice going through drills with one shoe on. And it was always something with Kadarius Toney, and the young man simply doesn't seem to get it. He doesn't seem to be able to move on. There's something he still just wants to take shots at the Giants. He wants to take shots at the fans. He wants to spend his time arguing past history on social media. And this is the kind of stuff that the Giants didn't need. Toney might go on to have a great career in Kansas City. There are people who think he'll be a number one receiver for the Chiefs in 2023, and that might happen. But listen, Kadarius Toney was never going to be the kind of player for the New York Giants that his talent says he could or should be. Whatever happens in Toney's career, whatever good things happen in Toney's career, the reality of it is those things were obviously not going to happen in New York. He didn't appear to want to be there. The Giants couldn't get him on the field. The Joe Judge coaching staff spent an entire year saying that Kadarius Toney needed to earn the trust of his teammates and coaches. They started his rookie season talking about that. They ended his rookie season talking about that. Obviously, Joe Shane and Brian Dable, when they came in, obviously they tried to make it work with Kadarius Toney, but they tired of his act pretty quickly, moved on from him at midseason. And listen, this isn't really about what the Giants eventually turned Kadarius Toney and the draft picks they got for him into, which of course was tight end Darren Waller, terrific player who the Giants hope will really be the catalyst to changing their passing attack. This is about addition by subtraction. This is about moving on from a guy who just didn't fit, wasn't the dependable kind of player that Joe Shane and Brian Dable want to build around. And I quite honestly, you know, I wish Kadarius Toney well. I hope he has a good career in Kansas City or wherever he goes from here on out. But it just wasn't going to happen in New York. And the best thing Kadarius Toney could do is let it go, grow up, stop poking at Giants fans, stop wasting your time arguing with people on social media. Go do some stretches so you don't suffer another hamstring pull. Spend your that's a better use of your time. Why waste your time arguing with people? Why waste your time arguing about something that doesn't matter anymore? To me, all of that simply continues to prove that Joe Shane did the right thing by moving on from Kadarius Toney in the middle of the 2022 season. I wish that Kadarius Toney would let it go, but maybe someday he'll grow up and do that. But for now, like I said, every time he opens his mouth, he proves the Giants right. So I'm glad that the Giants made the decision to move on from him, and the organization is better for it, and their future is better for it. All right, Giants fans, thank you very, very much for listening. Please stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.